Alright guys, what is going on? PoliticsGaming here, and today we are going to be doing the new Japan live stream. This is going to be the third in my series of economic live streams about Japan. Basically what we are doing as Japan, basically we are, basically, we are just in a series of live streams in which we are trying to reduce the economic strain of Japan, and basically, what kind of situation Japan is in is basically Japan has a very strained economy with years and years of stagnation and years of a aging population. We are attempting to recover the situation in Japan and ensure that Japan actually sees the 2020s in security and in safety. So what we are going to do first, I'm going to come over to Secret Service, I'm going to go to Terrorists, I'm going to go to the Japanese Revolutionary League, and we are going to put all of these guys under surveillance. I have an arrest warrant for someone conversed. 3 unknown persons at an airport, rented a van, bought a canister of gas, and this guy is definitely on to something, and he is possibly trying to commit a terrorist action. So before our before there's even a warning, I'm going to go ahead and arrest him for suspicion of this. And there are no political prisoners as of yet, and we're going to go ahead and wait. Attempted assassination of Asushi Hazaki. No longer in danger and is already giving a statement to the authorities and to the journalists. So we just stopped a terrorist action from happening, and that is very, very good. So we are going to go over and check on the energy situation, because I am definitely trying to recover my economic and energy situation in Japan. So we are going to borrow about $10 billion to basically launch another nuclear program. We're not trying to build nuclear weapons, however. Basically, what we are trying to do is get Japan back on its feet energy-wise, so we don't have to rely on the imports of a lot of foreign energy and stuff like that. So I'm trying to find out where I can actually put this. I don't want to put it next to this area right here. I don't want to put it next to a urban area that would cause an evacuation if it were to blow up. So I am going to place it right here, all across from Okayama and Fukuyama. And the closest major city is Hiroshima and Okayama. And the closest major city is actually the Osaka, Hirakata, and Kyoto region. And this area right here is actually one of the biggest regions, one of the biggest metropolitan areas in the world. The biggest metropolitan area is obviously going to be Tokyo. Tokyo has 8.8 million people, and Osaka has 4.2 million people. So we're going to go ahead and invest in nuclear energy right up here, and that will take 132 days to complete. And that will definitely save our strain on foreign imports of oil, natural gas, and coal. Which actually, the next Power and Revolution tutorial is actually going to be an energy guide. I posted a gigantic thing on the... so we actually got some happiness from energy and energy independence. So I actually got made a huge guide of how to manage your energy in Power and Revolution. I have a lot of content that I can actually go through, and I can actually start doing this very often. So maybe once a week, I can actually start producing tutorials for Power and Revolution. I'm actually making a sufficient amount on Patreon that actually encourages me to do this. So from now on, I could actually start doing a lot of tutorials for Power and Revolution. I already have a 40-minute economic tutorial, and then next up, I can actually do a energy tutorial on how to manage the energy, how much it costs, how to get this above this, what everything means, and basically how to produce oil, natural gas, and how to legislate non-conventional gas and oil so you can actually produce your own. Which actually, I'm actually going to go through test and exploitation. Authorized exploitation is banned. Exploration is authorized, but exploitation is banned. I'm going to go ahead and do a poll on the parliament and the opinion of the people. The people actually support a measure like that, so let's actually go for just right down to exploitation is authorized. Oh, people actually really like that. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to go. Let's do it. Alright, and we should actually get people to actually support us in that kind of measure. Wow, we actually lost a lot of approval because of that, but we do not have any riots going on from the environmentalists, so that is good. In reaction to that, I'm actually going to put more money into water treatment and garbage collection. Actually, not garbage collection. Hey, what's going on, Ninja? And Backstar, yes, I will increase the value-added tax. Which is actually my goal, to get the value-added tax to 10% actually. So let's go ahead and check on it. I am now at 9% value-added tax. If my goal is actually to get that to Shinzo Abe's goal of 10%, I believe it's 12%, but 10% is going to be my sort of minimum. Company turnover, I'm actually going to lower this to 35%. I'm going to lower that to 35%. That's going to cost us $15 billion. Let's go ahead and call this the business and call that the BCR, the business and corporate reform. Let's see Parliament's position on this, 83% for. And we're going to have to make up $15 billion for that. So let's go ahead and put this at 2.5. Okay, let's put that at 3. Whoa, it's me, Marahi, China's second part. Yeah, I'm actually gonna, I need to get back onto China. I'm sorry that I've actually not been posting the China series. Let's see if I can increase this by 1/4. Let's add that to the reform. 79% for. And then let's increase the value-added tax by 1/4. That makes up the amount of money that we lost with the corporate tax. Uh-oh. Oh, this is Space Richard. Okay. Oh, man, that scared me. Selene 2 Engineering Explorer 2 has been successful. Good, good, good. One of our minesweeping teams successfully succeeded in defusing a bomb in a train compartment. The alarm went off at the same time, and the security agent was intrigued by a plastic bag concealed under his seat. According to our specialist, a particular device would suggest the terrorist group JRL as a perpetrator of the attack. Let's check our inflation rate. The increase and subsequent decrease in taxes should have kind of like an equalization effect on our inflation rate. If it does start to, my goal for that is to get to 2% inflation. But once we start getting above that, I really need to put a strain on this. So I'm going to go over to legislation. I'm going to change the level of tax investigation. And I would definitely put a tax on financial transactions. Which actually, that holds back growth. I need to do something that goes after inflation. So I could actually increase taxes on the income of our citizens. Hayabusa 2. And energy, 78% of our energy is actually coming from fossil fuels. Let's go to our debt situations, check the next surplus. Is going to be $6 billion. And that's going to be in April. So if we keep holding back, or if we keep up the economic policy that we're actually pursuing, then we can actually pay off more and more of our debt. Japanese Liberal Front. I've never seen these before. These are actually new. Conservative Rightists. This is the Conservative Liberal Party. 7.5 million votes in the last election. Number of seats, 43 in the Diet. This is us, 67.6 million votes in the last election, or sympathizers actually, so supporters. Results, we got nearly 50% of the vote in the last election. We have 316 seats in the National Diet. Let's go for private funding only. Wow. So we can only go after, we can go for mixed and limited funding. So this is just a reform on campaign finance. So private funding, large donations from private individuals are banned and expenditure are limited for each term of office. Hey, what's going on, Waddles Gamer? Let's go ahead and put more money into rail transport. Let's go ahead and see what our surplus is looking like. We have about a $10 billion, $11 billion surplus, so that is good. The value added tax kills growth. What's going on, Philip, by the way? I didn't notice that you were in here. I didn't actually see your thing. Let's check what my growth rate actually is. Growth rate is 1.88%. In the worst case, we can actually commit to austerity. We can kill this off, the reimbursement for visits to the doctor. Health expenditures is 15% of our GDP. United States is 4% of their GDP. China is 7%. Venezuela is 105% of their GDP is going to healthcare costs. So actually, it's been going down. So this is percent of the GDP allocated to healthcare costs. So down from 16% actually so it's actually gone down by about 1%. Okay, this actually gone down by 1.2%. Population per medical doctor is from 755 for one doctor is now at 290. Are you streaming on Twitch? No, I am not. Usually I only stream to YouTube. I can switch to Twitch if y'all want. I never really saw. I never really see a difference because I have more followers on Twitter or on YouTube than Twitch. So we're definitely going to be investing in some shale oil and gas wells. This will definitely improve our production. If you are actually wondering about that, in my energy guide for Power and Revolution, I actually basically came down to the conclusion that, when is this going to pass? 2/8/19. I basically came down to the conclusion that non-conventional gas and non-conventional oil, after actually doing a little bit of research, in 1 week, Slim Smart Lander. I'm going to check where that's landing. Basically, non-conventional gas and non-conventional oil are actually just, they have different aspects, and they're actually not exported a lot because they are not oil. They are not oil and they are not gas, because they're actually called shale oil and shale gas, and the methods they actually use to extract them is actually very, very different. Do you think it's worth to buy the DLCs? I think it's very worth it to buy the 2018 edition, because obviously you can go into space, man. Okay, so let's look for the Slim Smart Lander. This is going to be space probe with landing. We have a 20% chance of failure. Let's go ahead and increase the budget before the launch. $500 million. 191 million. Okay, let's go ahead and try to get that passed before we actually launch it. Okay, so I guess our tax reform passed. Business and corporate reform has passed. So, okay, so we have a sit-in. Anti-environmental... Whoa, I've never gotten this kind of protest before. 68,000 people have come out and protest. For ecologists, the anti-environmental law is a wrong course of history. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go to the next day. See how long this sit-in lasts. I've never gotten that kind of sit-in. The law on non-conventional gas and oil exploration is crazy. How could you choose to put the health of our fellow citizens and viability of our natural resources in danger for a ferocious energy which goes against the international environmental protocols? We will not drop this. 53,000 are now out in protest. Under ecologist group leadership, 49,400 demonstrators have gathered in several streets of the capital and are currently looking for a symbolic place to take over. The law on conventional gas and oil is crazy. Oh, wait, he just said the exact same thing that they told me. Upload the game? What do you mean upload the game? This is a casting mistake. I'm gonna go ahead and peer on... I'm gonna go to the next day, see how many more people are stopping. Okay, so yeah, good thing I didn't appear on television. By the way, what is going on, Wazi Mendeas? I've never seen you on the live stream. I also want to give a big thank you to one of my new patrons. This patron did not actually say anything to me, but thank you so much to him for actually becoming a patron. Where is he? So I want to give a big shout out to Roach. I want to give a big shout out to Philip, and I want to give a big shout out to Zachary for becoming patrons. And the more I get, the more I can actually like put my full effort into my videos. Wait. Okay, well, I didn't see the risk factor, so let's go ahead and see if this thing blows up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. Alright, let's see if this blows up. And around here is whenever it's supposed to blow up. If it does, let's hope it doesn't. Oh, look at that up close look at that solar plant. Alright, we got a successful launch. We got the national highways. This is the Uchinora Space Center in Kyushu, just south of Miyazaki and Kagoshima. Just chilling, my man. Warm Tuesday night. Yep. That's how it is, brother. Reduction of risk, 15%. So there's still a risk factor. This is just because it launched and the launch is successful doesn't mean that it's going to work. There could be a failure. Oh man, that scared me. Oh my god, dude, I literally, I saw that in the corner. I thought that was a literal nuclear disaster that we just went through. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. That thing is not even, like, finished. Got 30 days. Oh, man, that was spooky. Some of our international donations. 81,000 dead. And we can't really do anything to stop it. Let's go ahead and go to debt. Next quarterly surplus is going to be $15 billion, so we're going to be paying off $15 billion of our debt. So let's go ahead and go to energy, and let's go over to shale oil and gas. Let's go ahead and put full manpower, 11 million to 55 million over the next 5 years, but we don't really have to worry about that. Very weak. Very weak. Wow, I guess we don't have any shale oil or gas, I guess. It sucks. Well. Oh, time to invade China. We have no oil. We have no shale oil. Okay, let's look at gas. $81,000 is overinflated. Yes, it is. That's just the game, because you can't really stop the nuclear disaster. It's just kind of there. And it just, I guess it's realistic because, cancer patients are dying, so it's kind of like sort of influenced by it. And so I guess like 81,000 have died over the past 10 years because of it. Okay, I guess we don't have any shale oil or gas. That was a waste of time. I can invest in that oil platform that will get us a little bit of oil in this area. It's very weak, but still a little bit of oil. It's going to be done 120 days. Let's see if we can invest in more oil platforms on this area. I guess not. All right. If the environmentalist group just keeps coming at me, trying to get me to do the whole thing with all of that, then I could probably just ban it. I don't really need it legalized anymore. Yeah, you have a point. Wow, no oil. Unfortunately, I paid with Serbia the other day, and this North province has a very high oil and gas output. Made such a strong economy with it. So it would have to be in this area, Vojvodina. It's actually a breakaway province from Serbia. It wants to break away, but Serbia's like, no, I'm not going to let anything else. I've already lost from Slovenia all the way to Macedonia, and they also lost Kosovo back in 2008. But Kosovo has American protection, so. They also have a statue of Bill Clinton. Game froze there. Let's Voivodina, okay. 72 terawatts. We are making a huge amount of electrical power with solar power, so we're going to invest in more solar power. And we can go ahead and see how much it costs to dismantle 900 of these. It's going to cost $4.2 billion. We can go ahead and do that. Lessen our dependence on foreign coal and oil and natural gas. Definitely reduce our consumption. The thing I hate most is the price of the DLCs. Yes, it's you can hate it, but honestly, Eversim needs to make their money back, and I think it's a good business strategy. It sucks for the consumers, but yeah, that's how business works. I'm going to go ahead and increase the size of the self-defense force to 270,000. Heavy rockets, manned missions to other planets now available. Send a human team and our equipment to the moon or to Mars. We are not the first, but we can profit a lot from this technology. No, we're not going to patent it. I'm going to go ahead and look to see what I can patent. I don't know the difference between patenting and publishing. There's a freaking bug around me, god damn. Building discoveries, okay, so we have these. And we got tank, fighter jet, missile launcher. Okay, so we have this one, the process for making an automated high-speed electric train that can go up to around 350 kilometers an hour. You can patent it or publish it. Okay, so for the moment, TGV is a private national technology. We are therefore the only ones that benefit from it. You wish to patent it and to make it public, thus enabling our companies to sell this technology abroad. So close that, and I want to go ahead and see what happens if I were to publish it. Patents are currently authorized for the TGV. If you wish to remove all property rights from this technology and place it in the public domain, you will not be able to revoke this decision and sell it again at a later time. Yeah. In my recommendation, I would definitely say get the 2018 version. Process that creates and controls chain reactions produced by bombarding atomic nuclei. It releases a strong amount of energy. So that's how we would create our nuclear energy. I'm gonna put more money into energy and environment, mostly because I really want to discover carbon nanofiber, and I really want to discover the high power fuel battery, which would actually benefit our automobile and several other industries. You have a nice channel with awesome content. I hope you gain more and more subscribers and viewers. Try to promote your channel more and play the games that are more popular. I wish you luck, man. Thank you so much for that comment. Yeah, I'm actually trying to branch out and stuff like that. I'm trying to... I actually tried to start playing, what do you call it, Democracy 3. And whenever I tried to play Democracy, Democracy's not working for me for some reason. I have another one. I need to play Arms Race to Cold War Era because the company actually gave me that for free, and I actually get and they actually gave me the DLC, the United Nations DLC, and I've actually kind of felt bad because I actually haven't played it ever since they gave it to me. ever since my first live stream of it. So I think tomorrow I actually might do a live stream of it, or I might actually release a showcase video tonight for the United Nations DLC. China network. Yeah, but other than that, I really need to promote my channel more. I'm actually going to use the money that I'm getting from Patreon to actually do that. I'm actually going to run a ad campaign, try to promote my channel more, see what happens. And other than that, yeah. But thank you so much for that comment, Wazi Mendez. Military operations. We have no foreign troops. We can get involved in a conflict to kind of show our strength. We have no things in there. We can support the Libyan government, their democratic conservative rightist regime. We can go over, send some ships over into Africa and support the Libyan government. We got actually 13,000 refugees in the middle of the Mediterranean. They're actually moving back from Greece. They're actually going home. Huh. Looks like the Syrian and Iraqi civil wars have actually come to an end with the victory of the Syrian government. There's actually, I've never seen, what do you call it? I've never seen a government actually lose against rebel group, as whenever I'm not playing that actual country. Like if I was playing Japan and like the Puntland and Somaliland rebel groups actually won against the Somali government, that would actually be amazing. But I've never seen that. I think Eversim actually did that purposely to ensure that the rebel groups cannot actually win against their national government. It's against their national government if it's actually just AI. But the situation in Libya, the democratic forces are actually controlling of the Al Kufra region in the south near Sudan and Egypt and Chad. While the Libyan government does not control Abari. They also do not control West Ashati, but the rest of their territory is actually under their own control except for the northeast and the Tobruk district. And we just, oh man, God, we are going through a lot. Massive earthquake in the Ryukyu Islands. 669 are dead. We're going to go ahead and send an emergency aid package of $50 million. This could actually make our debt situation worse.
We have just found out that a large earthquake has devastated a region. It is still too early to give an accurate assessment of the disaster, but I fear that many people have lost their lives.
Alright, let's go ahead and go to the next day, see what's going on in the situation in the Ryukyu Islands. This just kind of gives me a kind of like a spook about whether I should cancel that nuclear power plant construction we have going on. Because if there's an earthquake and, like in this region right here, if there's an earthquake in this region and we suffer a nuclear meltdown, it's just going to be Fukushima all over again. So 1,600 people are victims of this earthquake. Over 600 people are dead, while over 1,000 are injured. 675 people are dead. Day of national mourning.
Memory of the victims. And
yeah, we're going to go ahead and declare him day of national mourning. Fatal earthquake in the Ryukyu Islands. A terrible earthquake of 10. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. That's... Oh my god, Eversim, really? Of 10 on the Richter scale. A 10. That would be the largest earthquake that has ever struck the Earth, ever. The outcome is already very grim, with more than 669 victims and 993 seriously injured. The tremor, lasting an exceptional 2 minutes, was even felt in neighboring provinces. 10. Whatever. 687 are dead. Alright, we're getting like a lot of money from people giving for the nuclear accident. We've gotten over $10 billion of contributions. That, so we have a near $20 billion surplus that we have. Let's go ahead and go to taxation. See the revenue that we actually have coming in from the special catastrophe fund, $10.1 billion. Alright, the earthquake in... Let's go ahead and check this TV address.
This tragedy affects every man and every woman in this country. Therefore, I have decided to declare a national day of mourning so that we might come together as a nation in a time of reflection. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that was so special and moving by Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Let's go ahead and check our election situation. We have 943 days until the election. I'm gonna go ahead and check my subscriber count on, we actually have almost 1,300 subscribers. So guys, if you guys actually, if you guys like my content, we actually have 1,298 subscribers. So guys, I need you guys to help me get to 2 more subscribers. Once you help me get to 2 more subscribers, and I hit 1,300, then I will release a new tutorial for Power and Revolution. What is going on, Marziano Marxist? I'm just going to call you Karl Marx. But I've never seen you in the live stream, Karl Marx. Welcome to the live stream. Just a reminder, guys, speaking of subscribers, I actually want you guys to consider going to my Patreon and supporting me on Patreon. Meeting with Pakistan. We actually got a $20 billion surplus. Thank God. My name is Italian. Marizano Maxia Karl Marx. If we manage to settle our entire debt, then we can benefit from a treasury reserve that will accumulate interest. Treasury reserves are always the greatest. I am considering a meeting with the Prime Minister of Pakistan, though we will lose a little bit of approval because of a meeting with someone with a poor human rights record. But we do actually have good relations, so I'm going to go ahead and accept that meeting between the Prime Minister of Pakistan. However, this is my first live. Okay, thank you so much, Karl Marx. Welcome to the live stream. Go ahead and subscribe to me since you are new to my channel. I do produce this content weekly, so if you like this content and you like this game, this is the channel for you. I'm actually going to try to see if I can call for a meeting with the Prime Minister of Australia. Oh, I can actually see where he's going. He's going to San Francisco International. He's going to San Francisco International. Looks like I can't see where these guys are going. These are cargo planes, but this is a cargo plane. That is weird. He used to tell you where the ships and stuff like that would go, but now it just doesn't. I guess these ships are just transporting cargo all over the country. So yeah, this is my favorite part about the game, is that like it's just kind of like a living, breathing environment. It's not one of those things where you just like see all this stuff. It actually has planes transporting cargo across the world, and you have like cargo ships, like this grain freighter right here. It calls it a ore carrier, but that's actually carrying grain. This is just a regular freight cargo freighter, and we got another cargo freighter right there. I could actually invest in a port in this area, put it in Koshi, or maybe, do we have a port in Kyushu? We actually have one in northern Kyushu. Earthquake in Ryukyu Islands. The international community has given me $268 million. Let's go ahead and check the... Okay, let's go to our meeting with... he wants to sell me cotton. $2 billion worth of cotton. Could actually move it down to about 1,500. Actually, this would actually be a considerable contract, so I'm actually going to go ahead and accept this contract for the import of cotton. Okay, so that's going to be really near their sale price. Let's go ahead and accept that. 1,800, we're going to go ahead and move that to 1,530. I'm going to call this the import of cotton between Pakistan and Japan. It's going to be a $1.6 billion contract if he accepts it. 17, that's going to be $1.8 billion. And we're going to go ahead and sign that contract. It's going to be terminated in 2024.
Temper your words.
Oh, you little shithead.
Anything by trying to play in the big leagues.
You're not even... Well, you're just saying that because you're a nuclear power. Little shithead. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the next day, see the reaction because of my meeting with the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Slim Smartlander, everything looks good. Everything is running according to schedule. See, it lost 4% in approval because of that. We actually have a 2.39% growth rate in a previous estimate of 1.82. It's actually very good news. I like those numbers. 2.39, and our GDP is 5.142. Let's go ahead and go to my farming. Let's see what my trade deficit is in my farming. So that should actually go up by nearly $2 billion. So let's actually go to industry. Let's go check on my water supply networks. Sales and water supply networks are actually going up. Am I actually subsidizing them? No, I'm not. I'm actually... No, not zinc. Okay, let's subsidize by $70 million. Unemployment dropped to 3%. And then I'm going to go to energy. And I'm actually going to have this live stream last until... I actually complete this nuclear power plant. That's going to be in about a month and a half. So let's check my subscriber count. 1,298 subscribers, guys. So guys, get me 2 more subscribers, and I'm officially going to release my Instagram. I actually created a Instagram for my YouTube. So guys, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, where I will post updates for you guys, just follow me. Go to, just search up PoliticsGaming on Instagram and you will find me. See what happens. Yep, you can find me there. Just search up PoliticsGaming on Instagram and you will find me on there. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and continue skipping forth so we can get all this energy production going up, and so we can actually revamp our energy sector in game. 15 terawatts of power from a solar power plant. And this one, the Oita City Mega Solar Power Plant, is only producing 3 terawatts of power, while the solar power plant that we built recently is actually producing 15 terawatts. And then in the south, we got 15.5. So 15.5 is actually a good average for how much electric power is actually produced by solar power plants. Environment, legislation, nuclear accident. So we're getting more and more money from international aid packages. Let's go ahead and check on this nuclear power plant. We got about a month until it is actually completed. There's a tsunami in Yemen. 3,500 are dead. Only $15 million in damage. Wow. So we're now a month away from the completion of a nuclear power plant, of our first nuclear power plant since the 2011 deadly earthquake that killed nearly 15,000 people. 0.23 wind farm. The Setana wind farm in northern Japan off of Hokkaido. What about this one? 120 days out of 72. Housing. We're going to go ahead and rehabilitate 50,000 houses. Contraception rate 54. I don't know how to change that. Life expectancy 84 is actually going up. Urbanization rate 91%. Number of people living in cities per 100 residents. So 91 people out of 100 residents are actually living in urban centers. GDP per capita is up by about $1,500. Population of the country living under the poverty line is actually going up. That is not good. Okay, so we just suffered a terrorist attack. Bomb attack in Fukushima, 4 dead. During the production of a film about Kenji Cobra. 4 were killed. It would seem the device was placed under his seat, Prime Minister, if you were witnessing the beginning of a psychosis. Security procedures have been set up, particularly at the beginning of every session. There is a systematic bag search in the audience.
Define the debt reduction.
Define debt reduction. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to AIDS. And I'm going to check on the disaster, how much it actually costed. $2.5 billion. So I'm going to go ahead and reimburse. I'm going to put $3 billion into emergency aid. It should get rid of it. We've gotten $14 billion in international donations. There was a bug in Masters of the World, I remember this one, where if I sent so much emergency aid, it actually never let me do emergency aid for some reason.
In a statement sent to the press.
Was known by the Secret Services. Damn it. End of search.
The relief teams have stopped searching and are preparing to return. There is no chance that anyone could have survived under that rubble.
Yep. Well, I could have held off until the reimbursement. I didn't even know they were still doing all that. President of Panama wants to meet, so go ahead. It's actually just a branch out between Asian and Panamanian death toll. Okay, so here we go. death toll resulting in an earthquake. Come to present to you a final report regarding an earthquake, which will be officially communicated to the media. 690 dead and 532 people homeless or in exodus. Damage is considerable and reconstruction will take several years. In addition, it is necessary to consider as early as now to begin compensating those so they can recover a vital minimum quality of life. Prime Minister, what do you wish to assign? I'm going to go ahead and assign another $2.5 billion to those who have been affected. Let's go ahead and check to see how many people actually live here. 793,000. Huh. I guess populations actually drop whenever there's actually natural disasters. It's cool.
The population
Victim compensation at nearly two. Okay, seriously? I've like thrown out like nearly $10 billion. Next quarterly surplus is $10 billion. All affected people have been compensated. Jesus. Just kept asking me.
Here is our growth forecast for the end of the year.
Growth has gone down. Stabilization is expected over the year. Congratulations on your popularity and the meeting with the President of Panama. Okay, so sale of gold. They want to sell us gold for $53.7 million. Let's actually put that down to 21.23. Wait. It's not going to help. I'm going to go ahead and refuse that contract. Let's go ahead and sign a non-aggression pact between our nations. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and end that meeting. And we are now about 10 days away from when you tried to give the 2 you gave them 2,500. No wonder you asked for more. Oh, yeah, that's actually what it was. I'm used to it in, like, I'm used to it saying, wanting it in, like, this, in millions. Right there. So, I'm used to that. Nearly 100,000 people have died in the Fukushima nuclear disaster.
Undoubtedly.
Let's go ahead and check our family policy. Legislation on abortion. This is a policy I like. Abortion illegal in the case, except in the case of rape and birth defects. I never usually want to go for full abortion, and I never really want to go for illegal abortion because abortion is obviously needed. I could go for a civil union among homosexuals in Japan. And so let's go ahead and check to see what happens with our nuclear power plant in Japan. Nuclear accident, another $4.5 billion. President of Poland wants to meet. Let's go ahead and meet with her. And we are now 2 days away from the completion of our nuclear power plant. And the next day, it is now completed. How much you are producing 21 terawatts of energy. About 5 more than solar power plants. So I guess we will not be going for strictly nuclear. We could actually produce the same amount. Okay, so 2.2% of our energy is coming from nuclear. We could go for one more nuclear power plant, but I will actually have a focus on solar power. Where were those? So they're going to be done in 20 days. So we're going to go ahead and go to when those actually complete. And we're going to go to our meeting with the President of Poland. They want to sell us beef at $3,000 per ton. No, we can find beef somewhere else. Martian Moon Explorer space program. Okay, let's go ahead and actually check on that. Actually, we need to check a couple of things. Let's check our immigration situation. 800,005 illegal immigrants are in Japan. I actually could just start deporting them. Funabashi, Saitama, Chiba, Ichiwara, Yokohama. Okay, so we're going to be definitely skipping around 20 days to when these solar power plants are actually completed. Let's go ahead and try to see if we can wipe off. The hell am I looking at? Okay, suggest. That was crazy. We will not set up any debt reduction for the poorest countries with regard to the IMF and the World Bank. Thanks for your attention. Our dinner is waiting for us. You are giving your planet a big fresh... Wow, a wildfire in Kazakhstan. That's hilarious. There's like no trees. Okay, so we got about 10 days until they're actually completed, so let's go ahead and skip a week. Potential nuclear accident. No, we're not going to go for a nuclear accident. Get a grain freighter. It's actually going through storms in southern Japan. President of Myanmar, complete deny. We're not going to meet with someone like you. We actually have neutral relations with the Republic, but I'm not going to meet with someone like him. We're going to go ahead and skip about 3 days where our... and next day, and 15.59, 13.85. So this, the closer to the equator that you actually get these things, is actually the more power it actually produces. Okay, so solar powered electricity is actually accounting for 14% of our electric production. So look at that, is actually starting to go up. And we actually did successfully dismantle. So fossil fuels are actually accounting for 70.9% of our electric production. We're gonna go ahead and dismantle another 1,000. Ooh, that's a lot of manpower. So let's dismantle about 300 of them. Distribute over the full territory. Oh, we almost produced those. It's actually 300. I hate it whenever it does that. Fossil. Oh, actually dismantling them doesn't even... So we can dismantle another 1,000. It's going to take about 4 months. 50, 150. That's going to cost about $24 billion. I can go for that one. $6.5 billion for $33 billion over the next 5 years. However, that's probably not accurate because our financial situation, we got a 0.18 surplus, so it's actually not even going to matter that much. So we're going to go ahead and dismantle 1,015 fossil energy plants. And I think we're going to go ahead and install another one. We're actually going to put it closer to the equator. Okay, so we got good. We're going to actually put these guys with solar power plants in these areas. we're going to build one more. We're actually going to build this in the Ryukyu Islands. Cancel that construction because that actually looks bad. And then our 15th solar power plant is actually going to be in this area. Okay, we're going to build it in the northern area. Alright, so we invested a good amount of money into solar power plants. Some of them are actually going to be in these areas right here, barely even inhabited. But I guess power lines are actually going to be stretching under, and then they're going to be coming all the way up to the Ryukyu, and then they would actually connect all the way in mainland Japan to actually transfer the power from these little islands in the Ryukyus all the way to mainland Japan, and definitely could actually start powering Naha and these American military bases in the Ryukyus. So let's go ahead and check our debt situation again. Actually, I don't have to. $23.5 billion surplus. So we are actually making very good progress in paying off of our debt. Our public debt is now 213% of our GDP instead of 222%. So our public debt is now standing at $11.0 trillion. So that is actually very, very good in comparison to countries such as the United States. Our debt reimbursement is still at $225 billion. Budget excess is $28 billion. That's our actual surplus. In comparison, it was almost $225 billion. Let's go ahead and check our inflation rate. 0.6. So I am going to do another increase in the interest rate for 0.05%. We're going to go ahead and put our interest rate at 1/4. And Japan, nuclear accident. There's no nuclear accident. Can you please play as Somaliland next? Possibly. Oil platform is actually completed, and so we're going to go actually go and see how much oil it's actually producing. 134,000 tow. The more tow we have, the better. Let's check again for our oil situation. I'm tempted to just build one. Kind of like in this area right here, just to see what happens. And if I think I can dismantle it. Let's just go ahead and build one. This is going to be a gas well. It's going to take about 40 days. I'm actually going to go ahead and go to completion of that. Energy. Yeah, I can dismantle it if there's no oil being produced. Or gas, not oil. So 3 days out of 40. So we're going to go ahead and put that on full fast forward. 2.89% growth. And unemployment has actually risen to still 3%, but it is still going up and down. Justice, I'm going to look at my prisoners. No prisoners, actually. Legislation, propose a law to ban the death penalty. Japan actually has the death penalty legalized. It's interesting. Establish arms sales. And let's go to health. Let's go to legislation. That's my pensions right there. Private schemes total, that's going to cost us $7 billion. I already have this. It's actually $13 billion. I'm going to see if I can actually get marijuana tolerated. Let's see what the people actually think. Parties really don't like it, but the people kind of like it. You know, I'm gonna go for a toleration. Liberties, health, consumption of marijuana. People don't like that. I can cancel the bill.
Your politics are on the right track.
Poverty threshold. Setting an example, and hello from London. Hey, what's going on to Aviator LHR? Welcome to the live stream. I need to do another flight simulator live stream. I need to do a flight. Possibly from like LaGuardia or JFK to maybe Toronto. Saw a typhoon down here. Ogasawara. Alright, let's check our finances. We got near 3% growth rate. GDP. How are you? I am doing well. I've just kind of been tired over these past couple of days, but other than that, I'm doing very, very well. What about you, Aviator? Trade balance is actually recovering very, very swiftly, so we need to keep that on track. Let's go ahead and go to farming. Let's see what that's looking like. It's up by $10 billion compared to last year. Active population in the sector is going up. Yes, that's very good, Aviator. If you actually have not subscribed, please do. I am only 2 subscribers away from reaching 1,300 subscribers. Okay, so let's go to industry. I actually need to check on my wow, trade balance for industry is actually like recovering very, very nicely. 966 billion, now at 510. See, you need steel, electrical components, and uranium. I subscribed for about 6 months. Huh. Let's give bauxite some subsidies so we don't really have to import. So let's go ahead and give them $50 million to start up. Biotechnology, what do you need? Pharmaceuticals and chemicals. Building, housing, and roadway, you need cement, wood, electrical materials, and steel. Both of those use electricity, so this could actually... you have subsidies. How much subsidies do you have? Let's go ahead and give you $500 million in subsidies. Computer hardware, you need... I'm actually going to come down. Let's go ahead and give steel more production. We're going to have to invest in iron and coal and water supply networks, and we're definitely going to have to increase our electrical production because it is going to increase the consumption of electricity. Impose a price reduction. We're going to go ahead and give you $200 million of subsidies. I'm going to promote your channel. Be back soon. Oh, thank you so much. Send a link to whatever you actually do that. Thank you so much, Aviator. I'm actually going to look at your channel. Hang on. 152 subscribers. Wow. Ooh, nice 787 on your channel. You actually have a live stream going on right now. Hang on. Oops. Oh, it's just literally just rotating around. Is this... Are you playing X-Plane or something? Welcome back to another stream. Today we're flying from Qingdao to Denver. We'll be using a Delta 787. 800, and the flight will last about 10 hours. We'll be flying on the expert server. You can actually hear it in the background. So back to my live stream, actually. Steel, you're counting for 15% of taxes. I could exonerate them. I don't know how bad that would actually do on my economy and on my revenues and stuff like that. Which actually, they're not. Which actually, hang on. How much are you making off of profits? Sales. Okay, I think I'm going to try to subsidies at first, and I'm going to see how those actually do.
Our infiltrated agents had the chance to carry out a sabotage.
No. It's an app called Infinite Flight. I will be getting FSX soon. I'll be quitting and quit at playing and move. Yeah, Flight Simulator is actually very fun. I actually have a 757-200. It's a Captain Sim 787, and it's actually one of my favorites. A lot. Wow, 22,000 in the capital. It's a very interesting aircraft. Though I do want to get another one. A friend of mine actually has a 787. I'm actually trying to convince them to let me try it out, just so I can screw around in it and do a couple of flights. Let's go to media, seed construction. Let's go ahead and get this up to 60% of the population. 60.5% of the population. It's going to be $259 million. How much would it cost if I wanted to get 65%? $1.8 billion. I'm going to go ahead and make that investment to put 65% of the population under super high-speed fiber optic internet. And if I wanted to do 100%, that's going to cost $5.5 billion. So I will actually keep that for another time. Has begun, the work site is open. I'm going to go to bauxite, see if we're actually mining bauxite. Yeah, that actually is not working, so we're going to cut all subsidies. And we're just going to have to import that. Needs bauxite. I actually have imports of bauxite coming in, I know that. Yeah, we actually have we're actually buying it from Brazil. All right. I just commented on your live stream. That actually looks like an interesting game. I'm actually going to look that up on my phone real quick. Thank you so much, Karl Marx, for following me on Instagram. What else was I actually waiting for? I was waiting for something. That's what happens whenever you get distracted. Oh yeah, the shell. Okay, so we got now less than a month. Liberalizing marijuana right on.
The bill has been voted on.
Oh, that was quick. Interest rate demagoguery. It's going through your head. You're trying to I don't know, and make them fail out of school. No doubt you'll also believe that our country already did not have enough public health problems to deal with, while we won't stand idly by in the face of pervading demagoguery. And then liberalizing marijuana.
It was past time to end this hypocrisy. Everyone smokes,
and people who don't smoke should try it to loosen up. But seriously, what's the point of chasing down every kid who takes a drag from a joint? And most importantly, no more trafficking, no more warring between dealers, and no more settling accounts with violence. So I just want to say good job. There will always be a little three-leafed plant at my house with your name on it.
Sure. Yeah, totally. My favorite FSX add-on is the PMDG 737. I actually really want to get that. That's why actually one of my goals on the on my Patreon is actually to reach about, I think, $80 or something like that, just so I can buy the PMDG. So that is actually something I really want to do. So this gas well is going to be done in a little bit, and if it doesn't produce anything, then I'm just going to go ahead and dismantle it. It's just kind of a waste of a couple $1 million. I know. It's Hiroshima. I hope you get to it. Yeah, I will. Probably in less than a year or something like that, I could actually afford it. Boarded sabotage, of course. Let's go to energy. Check this. Whoa. Internet improvement. Cutting edge telemedicine. More and more patients are able to get a consultation virtually, which is particularly appreciated in areas of medical desertification. Also in hospitals, thanks to surgical robots controlled remotely in real time, surgeons can operate easily through the country and also provide emergencies, overnight care, or while on vacation. Totally. Internet speed, okay. I'm actually gonna check on my internet speed, see what that actually is. Super high speed is changing society. Prime Minister, I don't see you very often, but I would like to tell you about the internet's influence, even more so with super high speed. On our behavior, in our country, we are using the internet without restraint over all age groups and internet. An average of more than 6 hours a day for 80% of the population, streaming video, music, social networks, video chat, and online gaming. In short, in this public image society, the super high speed internet lets us move further and further away until we end up ignoring the real world. Something to think about. Of course, philosophers always think of like that. No scandal. You like education. You like literature. You like culture. You do like physician. So it's suicide. You like human rights, obviously. You also hate security, but you also really, really love the outreach of society into the world. Satisfactory result. Number 3 in the world. Okay, so we got about 2 days. We have to skip. Let's see what happens here. Nothing. There's no oil anywhere around Japan, even for that. Oh man, that sucks. I'm gonna go ahead and dismantle it. Only $500,000. It's gonna take about a month. What? Okay, so I'm gonna dismantle. What? What the hell? It's not dismantling. Okay, oil, dismantle. Okay, that's a bug. I guess I can't dismantle it. Oh, shit. Should have just canceled that construction. That sucks. We're definitely going to be investing in more. Oh yeah, we actually need to check on these. 50 out of 120 days. We're going to go ahead and go to the end of those constructions, and then definitely I am going to end the live stream there. So we got to go about 50, 60, 70 days until we actually complete those constructions. President Macron of France wants to meet.
Our sportsmen are ready.
The appointment that you have just taken is well.
Oh, okay.
The company.
So let's see what our energy situation is going on. We are now producing over 1,000 terawatts of energy. Should have a little bit of a decrease in that because of our dismantling of fossil energy plants. We're very realistic faces, totally. We have a sale of fuel, $25 billion contract to South Korea. I don't know how we can actually produce fuel. Nuclear accident. Okay, so Dot Bill actually wants to meet, so let's go ahead and do that. $5 billion has been transferred to us. And let's go ahead and go over and look at fuel. Trade balance is only $25 billion compared to $246 billion. Sales $156 billion, and profits is only $39 billion. Fuel, you need oil, natural gas, and colza. Let's go ahead and check on our production of colza. Colza, if you do not know what colza actually is actually just a biofuel. Let's go ahead and give that $80 million of, let's go ahead and give that $80 million of subsidies.
Our sportsmen are ready.
Yeah.
A week from the.
And what do you want? You want to sell milk to us? No, I'm going to find milk somewhere else. And from a poorer country, so we don't have to pay as much because they're going to make us pay out the ass for it. Uh-oh. We got a typhoon. I don't see where it is, but I know it's coming. Oh, there it is. Where are you going? Typhoon France, we got Typhoon Arthur that's kind of frozen down there. Typhoon Fran, it's right there. Off the coast, I guess. Just wait a little bit. Okay, it's going up toward Russia. Hurricane reaches Hokkaido. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and call for the evacuation of Hokkaido. And we're going to put together a refugee camp in this area right here. Oh god, I hate all these notifications that always pop up at one time. 26,000 people are trying to find shelter.
Our governmental cell informed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put a spy in the Russian government. 255 people are dead in that typhoon. Risk zones completely evacuated. It's okay, so the evacuation of those regions were completely successful. Got about less than a month until those areas are completely evacuated. Since we actually have a lot of money that we can actually put into other sectors, I'm actually going to create a space program. So we're going to go over to the moon. We're going to create a space program for the moon. And walking on the moon. Space habitation module, we don't have any, and we do not have a super heavy rocket. Okay, so if I want to do a manned orbital flight of the moon. Space probe with the return of samples of Earth. I want to go for walking on the moon. It's very expensive. I needed another $35 billion being added to the research budget. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put more money into research. Space propulsion. And how... Okay, that would actually put us into a deficit. 3.2 billion. It's probably going to put us into a deficit. I can just go ahead and increase taxes. We're going to go ahead and increase company turnover. All right, see ya, Aviator. I'll make sure to kind of like look at your live stream. But I will see you in the next one. Looks like we did pay off $25 billion of our debt. We have actually been averaging out $20 billion of debt payoff every quarter. So this has actually definitely put our credit agencies to love us, except for Harshness and Rules, who is actually not really liking us. But this is actually reducing our debt reimbursement, the amount of money that we actually need to pay to cover our debt payments every year. So this is actually very good news. Let's go ahead and check our illegal immigration situation. 1,000 people have actually poured into Japan. Soon enough, we may launch a deportation effort. Okay, $5.01 billion has been transferred to us. Kind of sucks that we cannot demolish that area. Yeah, see, look, we actually did lose a little bit of electrical production because of our dismantling of these fossil energy plants. We're going to try to get about 1,000 maybe every half year dismantled. So let's go ahead and check our energy distribution. 70.3% is now allocated to fossil energy, while nearly 15% is actually that. That's actually probably going to grow to about maybe 17%. Okay, so we got about 20 days, less than a month, until these not nuclear, oh god, we got another... Did these guys even evacuate? Oh god, I hate these. What is going on, Habit? I've never seen you in the live stream, so welcome to the live stream. We get another typhoon actually moving toward us. It's actually moving away. It's actually moving toward the Philippines. Possibility that it might hit the Ryukyu Islands, or it's just going to move harmlessly down south, dissipate in the Philippine Sea, or it may make a direct line. Oh, no, it's going to hit Kansai. God, come on. God, I hate it whenever this happens. Japan has developed Return to Earth. Was indispensable for the success for the program. Alright, nice. So this actually helped us. We're gonna move away because I really do not like that. Prepare for liftoff. And got interested in this game. Looks like a lot of fun, but also looks really clunky. Yeah, it can be clunky, but at the same time, it really pays off. Return to Earth achieved. I'm not going to patent that. Habit, if you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Help me get to 1,300 subscribers. I only need 2 more subscribers to reach that. We have a possible hurricane or typhoon as it is in the Pacific. Typhoon that is going to hit the Kansai region. We are preparing for that. We have a refugee camp in the northern area of the country over in Toko to help alleviate that strain of refugees that is going to evacuate in probably Wakayama or as deep as Osaka. So let's go ahead and check on the situations in the solar power plants. We got about 6 days until these are actually completed.
You are giving our...
Yeah. So we're going to actually get all this done until before the new year. Okay, we have 1,299 subscribers, guys. So let's go ahead and get one more person to actually subscribe to me, and I will have 1,300 subscribers, guys. Let's go ahead and do a push for 1,300 subscribers. I only need one more, guys. Come on. Okay, so these solar power plants are now completed. Good. We have 3 solar power plants that we constructed. Actually, this one is... Okay, so it needs one more day to actually complete. And let's go ahead and check our energy distribution. So now 18.7% of our electricity is actually coming from solar power plant. Solar power plants, we now are producing 1,043 terawatts of energy production. So we're going to go ahead and go to the month of November, see what this looks like on that little chart. Definitely good that we are doing this little push for renewable energies. I could go for another nuclear power plant, but I feel like just producing a clunk of solar power plants in a southern part of the country would actually pay off way more. I think the next region I can actually develop with renewable energies is actually going to be the Chugoku region. So guys, come on, let's go ahead and get for one more subscriber. I need someone to subscribe to me one more time to get to 1,300 subscribers. So our national consumption has actually been going down. So that is actually good. It's actually down by about 200 terawatts. Usually I always see it going up. Okay, 131,000 people have died in the Fukushima nuclear disaster. Most of those are just cancer patients, you know. We're going to go ahead and increase this to 0.4. Nuclear accident, $5.73 billion. And price of electricity has gone up. You might want to deal with that. Let's actually go ahead and check that real quick. Price of electricity has gone up by about $4. Oh, look at that. It's actually a flat line and it just jumps. What's going on here? Is this because of the subsidies to uranium? No, not uranium. We actually have a positive trade balance with uranium. That is good. Our consumption has gone down because we actually dismantled all of those nuclear power plants. Our production has actually gone up. I'm actually going to put this at $100 million. Let's actually go to the next day and then see what happens there. Okay, it didn't change much. Price of electricity has gone up. Yeah, I may want to deal with the trying to lower that. Let's go to electricity and pose a price reduction. I have the ability to actually reduce this. It's going to cost me a lot. You can reduce it by about 5%. That's going to cost $14 billion. Okay. Does anyone have any suggestions on what kind of thing is actually... Okay, let's actually go through and see what the price is actually doing. Okay, so it's gone down for biomass. Fossil electricity. Okay. It's actually gone down for fossil. Okay, let's check nuclear. Okay, so it's gone up for nuclear. That's the reason why. Okay, so nuclear electricity has actually gotten more expensive. So that is the reason why the price of electricity has actually gone up by about $4. Because nuclear electricity is actually... okay, it might help your growth to reduce energy costs. Is your uranium industry nationalized? You might want to privatize it. Yeah, I actually... uranium I actually nationalized because it was doing so bad. So, and there was no production coming out of it. There was no nothing. So I actually nationalized it to try and assist it. Let's go ahead and look at the total manpower. I actually have no people working in there. Let's see what happens if I want to hire 5,000 people. I'm going to go ahead and hire 5,000 people for the uranium industry. Okay, and let's go back to uranium, see what's going on there. Employment, manpower, only 2 people are working there. But it is shooting for 5,000. Okay. So I think that's actually why. Because I actually started producing it and there's no one working in the uranium industry. So that is possibly why there was a subsequent increase in the price. Okay, so see that actually worked. It's actually gone down by about a couple of cents. So it is now $540. So we're actually going to work to decrease that. If you feel I guess you can do a price reduction. If you feel communist. Hey, free helicopter rides, right? God. Lotteries and bets. Railway transportation, that actually takes up electricity. I actually have a positive trade balance on that. Services, I can actually give subsidies, so I'm going to go ahead and give them... I'm going to give them $1 billion of subsidies. Maybe? No, I'm going to give it $250. $250 million of subsidies. Try and help them grow. Because they're the reason why my trade balance is so bad. Okay, so price of electricity is actually going down a little bit. I do believe this is because of the nuclear electricity. Nuclear electricity is so prices, tax included, actually went up. Sale prices kind of gone up, and then purchase price has actually gone up. Well, giving them out for free would be communist, but you can get a price reduction, special price only for you. Aw, thank you so much, Dad. Okay, $6 million trade balance. Change the average revenue. Oh, I guess that's the the thing, however much you pay. Wish I could build a pipeline across this area so I could just buy some oil directly from Russia. Is there oil in this area? Yeah, there is. How much? 63 million tow. If Russia ever goes to war with me, I'm taking this area right here. I'll help my oil situation a lot. Let's go ahead and check my population, 126 million. Population growth is still negative. It's actually going down. Ugh. Youch. Taxation. Well, guys, if you guys like this live stream, go ahead, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Help me get one more subscriber, guys. Other than that, guys, if you like this live stream, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Go support me on Patreon. And guys, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.